Aside, the online global phenomenon that showcased harmony in diversity on the resort island of Langkawi now travels to the scenic Malaysian state of Perak. With an all-new group of first-time visitors from around the world, 5 strangers brought together to see if they can set their differences aside as they share new challenges and adventures in some of Malaysia's most magnificent and diverse landscapes. Challenging the wild, each other, and themselves. The first time was legendary. This time, it's wild. Differences aside, Perak wild.
I try not to think about it. It's bittersweet. Like up to now, like the progress and how we've bonded and been close, but then to know it's going to come to an end and can't really do much about it because everyone has to go back to their own lives and it's expected. But it's bittersweet. Like you don't want it to end, but it has to.
I'm a little sad because I have such a great time and I'm experiencing a lot, and I also have so much input from all the people around me. I think it's changing me.
It feels like, like you're somewhat are gonna lose sight of them because you're not gonna sleep and wake up with them and go through like another adventure. I'm really worried that things are gonna change when we ever meet again.
It makes me feel sad because I feel like we've got quite a family. And the 5 of us are so used to spending every minute together. I think when we go back to our own corners of the earth, it's gonna feel a little bit like we've lost an arm. I'll think, oh my God, Aggie would have loved that. Or if Seth was here, he would have thrown in the best joke right then. So it is sad to think about, and that I'm going back to my real world and these guys can't come with me. So I'm trying not to think about the end too much and just experience what's going on now. And when I get on the plane, then I can, oh, no, it's over.
Definitely want to have more conversation with each one of them. I already had a lot of conversation with each one of them, but I feel it's not enough. It's not enough at all.
My passion is traveling. But then the more I travel, the more I live in different places, I realize my passion is about to focus on this moment.
I want to live long and I want to stay healthy. And my fear is that I do not reach this, that something will happen that destroys all this.
Hello! They don't care.
I have like this calling since I was a kid to help so many people, but at the moment I'm still struggling with myself. I'm not really fulfilled just yet in terms of financially or maybe fulfillment. But as soon as I reach there, I want to be able to help a lot of people, for example, to raise an orphanage or maybe to take care of the older people or something like that.
snorkeling around the boat. It was amazing. A lot of fish over there.
Snorkeling experience today, honestly, like best experience throughout all this journey. We really get to swim freely, and then like everybody was just like jumping around from the boat.
It was very fun. I saw these colorful fish in there, and there were thousands of them, and I just wanted to get into that and get in touch with them.
It's so beautiful here, isn't it?
Yeah,
Look at that backdrop.
very relaxing as well.
There's one there.
Really? I don't. Really?
Is it forward?
Yep. It's only one way.
Do you need help?
I think I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm ready to pull you back.
Yeah. Well, we could be here for a while, guys. I think it was all the way down the bottom.
It's a boot.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, wow, 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 wow.
Here we go.
Right. Oh, he's moving and he's spiky.
Careful.
Moving.
It's about to jump.
It's so beautiful, the fish.
So can you believe we've been together 5 days now? It's gone so quickly.
The day one and day two, it feels like long, like weeks. But then now it's almost at the end.
Yeah, it's gone quickly.
Yeah.
Too quickly.
Too quickly, absolutely.
I don't like talking about this.
No, well, let's not talk about the end. Let's talk about, I mean, you've talked about moving around a lot for your dad's work. Like, did you find it difficult to connect with people when you moved around so much? Was it hard to make friends?
I'm sure you guys know that it feels like I'm always like rushing to do a goal or try to do this and that. And that's probably because why? Because every time I go somewhere, I know there's like, okay, the three-year time limit has started. And by the end of this, whatever happens, it's ended, then the next cycle begins. And it's always been like that. I've never stayed in a place for more than like 4 years in a row, I think. So every time I go to a new place, you already know the game has started. You gotta quickly do everything you can and try and make those connections and then watch it fade away and then do the whole thing again.
Yeah.
It was the part where I talked basically more or less about like my history of traveling. Because most people think travel, like, you know, when you're young, traveling around to different countries is a blessing. You know, you can see the world. But then I got to finally, like, you know, not just tell them. I usually only tell this to close friends, but now tell them and basically the whole world. I felt like that was a big weight on my chest that's been there for years that just got off my shoulders.
How is your relationship with your wife? You know, like you seem to be like trusting each other so much. How is she like? And you know, like what makes your relationship stronger?
Well, we started as friends. She thought of me as, oh yeah, this guy would be good. Let's check out. And she helped a lot that this relationship. We stayed friends until now. So it's not only that we love each other, we are also the best friends that we have.
Larry keep on mentioning that his wife is his best friend. It's not usually people use that term for describing their wife. Because, you know, like for me, myself, to be married to someone, it's some kind of attachment that I'm not really wanting that. Because maybe I was scared of having the idea of, you know, like attachment towards someone. But then like after Larry said that, it's not like something scary.
The birds are very unique appearance and they're so smart because when I hold up the banana, they just take it, but without hurting me. It's a nice experience to get the chance to get close to the home view.
At first I was like, okay, hornbills are gonna be interesting. I heard this fact was repeated like 20 times since they mate for life. But I did find that interesting. But then I just thought we were gonna just look at a bunch of birds and I was like, okay, that's it. But then the fact we got to feed it that was fun. And then the incident with Olivia where one of them relieved themselves.
I got on my back, but it's good though, you know, like I'm not complaining or anything because it's nature, especially like after Aggie said that, you know, in China, if birds on you, you're gonna get rich. Oh, that's a good sign. So I take it like pretty simple. I'm gonna get rich.
my most wildest experience in Perak so far was on the 2 days through the caving and the rafting, and for the longest time I was afraid of really dark and claustrophobic places, and then casually did everything. And at the end of it I felt so free, like I could do anything, that it was just...
You achieved something.
Yeah, I just felt so powerful at the end of it, and that to me was wild in a sense. Like
We humans cannot do much against nature,
Nature,
if it
yeah.
decides to mess with us.
Probably some of the adventures that we had in the village, and then like traipsing through the creek and through the mud, and like, hey, we know how to hunt wild animals now. That was pretty wild too.
I agree with you. Like sleeping on the floor without internet connection.
Forgot about that bit.
But it's good, like to disconnect to connect, like with the local people, and then like you kind of put your mind, your heart, and your attention towards the people who actually like presented nearby you.
I feel more confident being myself. I've changed a lot, but then I just don't feel I can be myself, because people expect me to act and behave a certain way because that's who I am to them. One of the reasons why I don't actually post on Instagram and Facebook, because everybody sees me differently. But now I just don't care. I just want to be who I am at the moment, and if I change, I change. And Olivia helped me out a lot there, so
You should go ahead with that.
I feel like the first day when we were in the van, and then I started the conversation with you. That moment and compared to this moment is completely different.
What's your goal? What's your ambition?
at the moment, not too much. Just honestly, just having more adventures, so there's something to look back on is really what I'm thinking that's really important at the moment for me.
Right. Okay.
How old you are?
20.
Oh man! Yes, my little brother. You got lots of time. So I learned a lot from all of you, but especially in this perspective, I learned from Larry a lot, because he's just a truly be real, really honesty person.
The day before I was just scared, and it was very terrible for me. So there were a lot of people around me, there were this filming and interviews and so on, and I really wasn't used to something like that. And I really don't know why, but after this bamboo rafting and probably we just enjoying our time together, this vanished and it didn't come back again.
Going caving, getting into these tiny little spaces and we're in water and all those sorts of things, getting chucked off the side of the raft, and even my greatest fear is sharks, and just getting in the water and going snorkeling, and my heartbeat did not raise, and I was just like, I have kind of conquered a few mental barriers while I've been here, and I'm surprised how relaxed I've been about this is the next adventure, this is the next adventure.
And you didn't show any fear, you just
I
did
just
it.
did it, and I think that's unusual.
I think for me, to be honest though, is being brave to open up to my vulnerability. I learned it through Em, because she was sharing a lot about her journey before in her life. I think it's really amazing that, normally if people have been broken so bad, they try to guard themselves up, pretended to be strong. And I think I learned a lot from you, in that perspective. There's nothing to lose, if you just show yourself who you are, you don't have to pretend it to be strong and be capable of so many things.
Thank you, and hopefully it will help you if you can be more vulnerable, and you know that it's not so bad. I was totally vulnerable with you guys, and here we are, day 5.
So sad.
Wow.
No.
They might get emotional right now.
Really, I cannot give you one special moment, because the whole trip was just enjoyable with you, and it's so easy to have fun with you, and I felt 7 years younger. So yeah, at your age. And I'm really looking forward to spend the next week with you here in Malaysia.
Thank you. I guess my turn.
He catch feeling.
Me too.
I can see Steph's eyes is already wet. He has wet eyes.
When I mentioned something during the interview that night, and then you say you felt connection when I talked about the time passing very quickly. Yeah, then when we talked afterwards, I felt like a real connection there, and I was just like, ah.
So because it was a real connection, this was something that was for me, it concerned me a lot. So this was very great, yeah.
And for Aggie, yeah, we didn't have too many like big interactions, but the ship one was kind of nice. Like I think during that little discussion, we kind of bonded quite close, and I found Aggie's stories really like entertaining because she's she has a completely different lifestyle than anything I've ever heard of or seen. So yeah, it was fun to listen to.
It's not really about that moment, but it's about all the other moments because you're so carefree, and it's something that I wish I was more like. So it's probably when we went and had our dessert in Ipoh. And how you just got up and you're gonna go make dessert with this gorgeous big buff guy. And I'm like, she gives no shits. Like she just gets up, it doesn't matter who's watching, and she just does it. And I think I'm in awe of how you just get up and you're like, you're gonna twerk here, or you're gonna do this, or you're gonna post that, and you know, I'm going to Paris and then I'm gonna do Perth, and I can do this because I'm doing this and this. Like it's amazing, and I'm sort of, I'm in awe of the way that you can just do things, and life's pretty good for you. So I can't come up necessarily.
You know, strong, confident women do whatever she feels right, and she just feels. If you want to do.
That's it.
I think differences aside, for me, is a concept. It's an idea that connects people and binds people together with the same vision. For example, we, Indonesia, Australia, Germany, China, and Malaysia, we all like to travel. We like adventure. We like getting into the unknown. We like getting to know people. We like all these sort of things, and food. More people should actually apply if they want to overcome the differences and bring people together and working with the same vision. Yeah, guys, more people should take an example of these 5 humble kids. Yeah.
This is for you, Aggie.
Yeah, they think you're special too.
Yeah, they're celebrating.
It's extra moment for our interview. Cheers!
How much left?
Orange.
M, or Lady M, she was, I believe, the easiest person to talk to. Helped me break out my shell, helped me move forward with, being myself more, and she was very supportive the whole way, and that was amazing.
To the lovely Larry, he is such a thoughtful person. Everything is so considered. You can see his brain ticking in overdrive before he puts a sentence together. Such an intelligent guy. I don't think he realizes how intelligent he is. And I'm really gonna miss his laugh. It is so infectious.
So when I think of Aggie, just her smile and the laughter, she has a special spirit, I guess.
What I'm gonna miss about Olivia is her energy. She's that kind of person. She gives inspiration to people. You can be anywhere you want to be. You can do anything you want to do.
After this trip, what I'm gonna miss about each and every one of them, I think the sense of belonging, having a family on your own.
I'm gonna miss the connection, to be able to meet and connect with people. It's been a while since I've been able to do that, and I can feel free and feel like I'm part of something bigger than myself in a way.
If anybody gets the opportunity to do something like this, take it with both hands and run with it, because you never know how it might change your life. So, hashtag Perak Wild, hashtag differences aside. This is M signing out.